Yes. Rasco and Disco beer review with me, Disco, coming at you live on YouTube. We were talking about it earlier. I'm joined by the legendary Craig from Kent Beer Reviews. Thank you very much indeed, Craig, for popping along. No Rasco tonight. He's had a few beers. We've had a few beers, and he's decided to call it a night. Fair play. He's been very busy today, family, etc. I know you have as well. But you're back in your digs, and you got a beer on.
Yeah, got a beer. I just done a review just now. It's not live yet, but I'll post it in a bit. But
Cool.
but yeah. So another beer from Daya. It's a collab with Villagers. Moonpool. It's a West Coast type.
Yeah.
West pale. 5.7%. So a bit of a stronger pale ale. But yeah.
That's an interesting one. I know Villages because they're over in South London. They're over Deptford way.
Deptford, yeah.
I had one of their beers. I had one of their beers earlier in the year. A disco beer. Can't remember what it's called now. Yeah. One of me disco beers. I've got this mad thing about collecting beers with disco in the name. It's a 20-year-old nickname, isn't it? So there's a lot of beers called. There's a lot of beers with disco in the name. It's kind of easy one, isn't it, for some party juice or whatever.
What you got?
What's it? Disco egg or something?
Disco. Right.
Sorry.
I thought you got a load of them and went to a party or something. So.
No, I mean it started last year. It's like it was basically I think the OG one was Disco Forklift Truck from Drygate. It used to be in Sainsbury's quite a lot. And somebody because my nickname.
Yeah, they not got it anymore.
I'm not sure. I haven't been down Big Sainsbury's for a while, so I think it probably still is. I go to Drygate Direct now for stuff. But yeah, a few of my mates went, "Hey, have you seen this beer?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah, okay, yeah, I know about that." And then last year, like staying at home and getting into beers more and that and ordering and stuff, I went onto Drygate's website and they had about 3 or 4 different beers with disco in the name. So I started ordering stuff, And then I saw a load of other breweries with disco beers in the name. So last year I had about 20 odd beers with disco in the name. I thought it's a fun little thing. It's a good bit of content in it. So and I just started doing this thing called a disco collection, and I didn't have so many this year, but one Cosmic Disco Egg was the one from Villages. It was a collab with Hot Burns Black down there in Deptford.
That was a lockdown. That was a lockdowns.
Yeah, essentially.
Yeah. No, it's amazing. I think you wouldn't think there's that many beers with that in the name, but obviously there is. You must have had them all by now, I would have thought.
I don't think. No, I've missed a couple. I missed one. There's I've missed. There's another brewery in South London somewhere that had a disco beer. There's one called Workshire Brewing that are in London somewhere. I don't know too much about them, but it's like a couple of guys who've left their jobs in the city with a bit of money, I think, and done a brewery. They've got one. Adam keeps sending me links to beers with disco in the name, and he's done well for us, to be fair. He's given us a lot of heads up. He's a good lad, obviously. There's one there's an American one called Disco Wolf, and he sent me to a link in a beer shop in Yorkshire somewhere, but between cost and like timings, and I haven't quite got into it. So there's a couple on at the moment, but it seems to go in kind of cycles. So I usually do it. I start collecting about March, and I'll do one for my birthday in July, and then I'll try and get one in before Christmas if I can see it.
Yeah, I'm sure if you don't.
So if anybody out there, sees a beer with disco, and a few people on Twitter have sent me links to stuff, and I'm always pleased to take suggestions.
Yeah, I'm sure even if you go on Untappd to just put disco in, I'm sure you could give you a list. No doubt.
Yeah, I mean, I resolutely don't use Untappd for various reasons. Like when we first started doing a channel, like I was aware of it, and I don't need another app, and I don't need another thing that's going to take up a large amount of my time. Do you know? I like things like that. I love a list. But I'm too competitive. I want to do the list. But you're right. Untappd is useful for finding out about stuff.
Oh, I mean, And it's also, it's like, you think you've had a new beer, and then, well, certainly at my stage for using it, you think, oh, I've known this, and then you go to check in, I've had it before. It's like, when was that? It's like, oh, that was like 5 years ago. I can't remember. So that's good for things like that.
What I tend to do, I tend to just go on random bottle shops, like obviously Trembler Madness in York is really good because they'll have a search function. And if you just put disco in the search function, it will find whatever they've got on available at the moment. With disco in the name or whatever. So that tends to be what I do in the moment, you know.
I'd love it if they had, like, you done that and then they done a screenshot of you and then just put a little picture underneath. That'd be hilarious.
There was one there was one that did that, because obviously when I get it I'll just post it up. And there was another South London brewery, what was it, Roller Disco from there was one, they'll just post it up, and like I say, there was my local brewery messaged me last year. So I keep saying last year because it's 2022 now, isn't it? But that was 2020. And they were like, "Hey, Disco, we've got a load of apricot puree or cherry puree. We're going to do a sour. Which one do you reckon we should use?" And I went, "Oh, cherry, definitely." And then a few months later, they were like, "Hey, we've got this beer, Disco Duck." And then they put my name on the label going, "Oh, we asked Disco and he said, do cherry." So we did cherry. And I'm like, that's amazing.
Yeah, no, that's good.
Which is,
have you ever heard, I mean, I don't know if I mentioned it with you, but I bought a bunch of beers just before Christmas. I've only got 2 left, actually. I thought I had more than one. Which is fine. I'll probably have, we'll see. Might have one more tonight, have one tomorrow, and that'll be it. Done.
Yeah.
Go back home Monday. But there's a bottle shop that opened up in Clapham. Only opened in November. Called No Boring Beer, but they've actually got a site they've got 3 shops. One's in Deptford. I can't remember where the other one is. One's here on Lavender Hill in Clapham, just up the road. So I ordered from them. It was free delivery after 50 quid. So I got 11 beers. And they dropped it round, which was really handy. Because I forgot my beer for some reason. My Christmas beers, I forgot to bring them. Just completely forgot.
That's the thing. There's always so many options as well. If you do, there's like, just get something else dropped up in it.
Yeah, but I still got my Christmas beers at home when I get back. It's like, what a shame, you know.
Damn, more beer.
Yeah, that's it. So, but yeah, what are you drinking?
I am drinking. I'm drinking this little bad boy here, Turning Point Imperial Barrel Aged Gravediggers Biscuits Espresso Imperial Stout.
They had that on at Nottingham Craft Beer Festival back in August.
Right.
But I missed it for some reason. I missed it. Okay,
so I missed it last year, and I had the original, the basic Gravediggers biscuits. I forget where my camera is. There it is. This one they've bourbon barrel aged, and it's quite frankly smooth as liquidizing bourbon biscuits. Oh, it's nice.
Right.
I don't know if I should say this because our show. This is obviously just had this on our show on Instagram with where we named our beers of the year.
Yeah, I did.
Obviously, I know you was watching and stuff like that. But little heads up, Turning Point. I made my brewery of the year for 2020, just because I had so many good beers off them, including this one. This one's proper smooth and tasty and luscious. I know a lot of people won't agree with me, maybe, but I do love a bit of Turning Point. They bang out some good beers.
Rascal won't agree with you, that's for sure. So.
No, Rascal's never going to agree with me. That's why we always do 2 awards. We do a Rascal award and a Disco award. So we'll see. Adam, I just sent you a link on Instagram if you wanted to pop on and say hello as well. Obviously, most welcome. As in anybody else is about. So I've named it the after party for our Beer of the Year show, because we was chatting about doing more YouTube. whether me and Rasco should come across and do a Saturday show on YouTube or not, or whether we should stick on Instagram or whatever. So I thought, well, let's just do an after party, man.
Whatever you want to do, innit?
Well, the thing is, we don't know. It's like we just turned 700 followers on Instagram. So it's like that's Instagram kind of lets people know when you're live and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I don't know, YouTube doesn't so much.
I got the klaxon when we went live. So my notification seems to be working. For a while, I couldn't work out why, and then there was a setting somewhere that I don't know if they added a setting or something. I don't know what the deal is, but sometimes YouTube can be really bloody temperamental, you know.
Yeah.
But if you're doing like, it's like when Raggy goes live, or someone goes live multiple times within about an hour and a half, you'd only get the first one. It won't continuously give you notifications. It'll just be the first one, and that's it.
Yeah.
I've noticed. So I don't know for why. It's probably a limit, I guess. I don't know.
These are the things when you get onto YouTube, you have to kind of find out as you roll along, I guess.
Yeah, just little things. I mean, they dialed a few things back that they'd done, and which is good. And it's like in the comments, you know, the 3 little things with a comment. You used to be able to click on that, then it gives you an option to go to their channel, and then they took that away for some reason. But now they brought it back. So little kind of tweaks like that they've sort of changed. I'm surprised you haven't had a Russian bot yet. They're normally in the comments.
On some of the videos we put up, we do get one in the comments, but because we don't really do enough lives, we haven't seen that yet.
No, but they're really hammering any kind of live stream at the moment. And my subs seem to be fluctuating 5 up and then 5 down. It's like it's obviously these bot things.
Right? Yeah.
I don't. It's weird.
It's all part of the fun of it, I suppose, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just block them.
Yeah.
You know, it's just it is what it is. But this is quite a decent beer. I don't really.
It's proper juicy.
Review, but yeah, it's pretty good.
Greetings, Paul. That's a good point. I don't think I have seen you without your hat on for a long, long time, sir.
It's at home, man. Yeah. I'm not at home, so I wasn't expecting to do anything live. So then I've done every single beer review live. I think I've just done my 10th review since I've been up here. But it'll be back from next week. Yeah, this is normal. This is normal. It goes a bit Sutcliffey. So,
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, that's why. Obviously, I'm at home, so I always have that on, even when I'm indoors. Like, you're not meant to, but it just keeps my hair from going all over the place.
Yeah. Well, but yeah. At the moment, it's ridiculously warm in London. It's like 16 degrees.
It is, isn't it?
Just nuts.
Yeah, it's like I was like standing outside the back door even yesterday. Just standing in this t-shirt and jumper. It was just proper not cold. Very strange.
It's not at all.
Yeah.
But apparently next week it's going to take a turn, and they're saying snow up north and all that shit. So.
Oh, joy, that's something to look forward to. But luckily, I have a bunch of barrel-aged beers to keep me warm, so I'm all right.
That's it, isn't it? I've got a load of barley wines when I get back, so I'm all right. And my hat. So
yeah.
And some hair.
So we was talking about beer of the year. Have you done a beer of the year nomination? Do you do a beer of the year, or do you not bother?
I never do it. I never, because I don't know. I mean, I could revert back to Untapped, and there is a few beers. There's 4 or 5 beers that, and going back looking through, it's like, yeah, they were good, but they give you that review of the year thing. How many beers you've had, how many styles you've had, how many breweries have you tried from, how many venues you've been at, that goes on and on and on.
Yep.
How many beers what's the highest amount of beers you've had from one brewery? And actually, mine was Colonel. I had like 18 beers from Colonel last year.
Okay.
But then Colonel do loads of beers, and I drink a lot of their beers. They just seem to be on tap down my way quite a bit. And obviously going to the tap room a few times, it soon bumps it up. So
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Vasco's big into a bit of Colonel. He done a whole series of them. Again, it's one of my London breweries that I should be looking into more, and just sort of haven't in the last 18 months, like lockdown or whatever, not going there and stuff.
there's a lot of breweries in there. So
yeah. I mean, I find beer of the year very difficult, to be fair, because obviously it's kind of a nominal thing, and I just do it on the beers that I've enjoyed more than every other ones I've gone back to and stuff like that. But I find it very difficult going back to beers because I want to try all the new ones. You know, it's just some of the few that I've ordered more than once of. You know?
I've had a hell of a lot of good beers. So
absolutely, yeah, exactly.
Just trying to, then I don't really want to. I don't really, especially with the way things are, I don't really want to pit breweries against each other with the climate we're in. That's another thing, another reason why I don't do it.
I gotta be, yeah. I mean, when you see,
that's the
just want to drink good beer. I know that, yeah. I mean, I did say to Vasco like last year when we started it, I'm not sure I really want to do this because of what you mentioned, and you probably saw a bit on the show. I'm like, I don't want to, like, especially brewery of the year. Beer of the year is probably slightly different because I can talk about, I can waffle on about what I've liked about the individual beers. But brewery of the year is really difficult, and it certainly was this year more so than last year because of the, well, I suppose because of who I went at, the interactions you have with breweries and the different beers you have. But it came down to the beers in the end, just the beers that I've had from that brewery. Well, from Turning Point, but I've just said I said only Turning Point. I just every time I look on the website, it's something else I want to try and just enjoyed. It didn't make it any easier to choose. It was like a beer label's width between the top two. You know.
Yeah. No,
we do the show, so we do it. We go for it.
There's a couple of breweries that I've been really quite impressed with. So one was I only had one beer from these guys, but it was really good. Pipeline Brewing Company, out of Cornwall.
Yeah, you said in the comments. Yeah, I know the name, but I don't know anything about them at all.
I had some beers. Actually, had some beers from them. They were at Hop City, so it gives you an idea.
Of
the kind of level, if that makes sense.
Are they based up that way? Are they based Yorkshire way?
No, they're Cornwall. They're down in Cornwall.
Ah, yeah. That's why I know about them. Yeah,
North Cornwall. So check them out if you can.
Yeah, definitely.
So them and although they've got new premises and they're not actually brewing there yet, they're kind of at the moment a bit of a gypsy brewer. They've had beers brewed at Full Circle, Attic, and I think Gypsy Hill have done one or two.
Okay.
Is a Flock Brew Project.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of stuff from Flock.
Yeah, they're really damn good.
Oh, look, there's our Russian bot that you were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
I haven't got any mods, so I'll have to do that myself.
Yeah, that's all it is. That whatever dot. Whatever.
Yeah.
Strange.
Yeah, I think Flock is another one, maybe one to watch for next year as well. I've seen a few people do. I know you've done them.
Yeah, they've got a couple of other beers, most recent, that I haven't got to yet, but we'll do when I get back home.
Yeah.
Can't remember what they're called now, but I've done about 3 or 4 reviews of them recently because they've just started doing some beers again, and they're going to have a tap room open in the spring in Canterbury. So I'll be heading over there, doing a bits and bats at some point. If I can, it's going to be I'll have to wait and see. Might have to be a day where I can sort something out a little. But
that's the other thing, isn't it? I think we've all got a long list of ones we want to do and places we want to go, and just hope for the best. It all pans out.
I can get to Canterbury in about just under 20 minutes, so it's not far from me on the train. So.
Yeah, it's your manor, isn't it? Yeah.
it's my sort of that neck of the woods. But yeah, so that'd be a good one to go to because they were at Hop City as well. Funnily enough,
Yeah. If it's Putin's iMac, I wouldn't be deleting it.
it is.
If Putin was
it
watching us,
definitely is.
it all comes
Oh,
out.
it's just don't touch Iraq. Don't touch Iraq. Don't touch Ukraine. So there you go.
Don't click on the links. That's my thing. Is I don't think anybody would be daft enough to click on the links. I don't know why they do it, but don't click on links.
So yeah, Happy New Year, everyone. I forgot to. Always forget.
Absolutely. Yeah.
It's only the light words now, but I always forget.
Talking of forgetting, I haven't done the live. I haven't done the live for 6 months, so I forget. I can show you comments, can't I? And I forget. I've just done it, and then Adam's drinking a collaboration with two good breweries who have made a bit of a disappointing beer. Rasco had that earlier on the show the other week. I can't remember the other brewery. One was Low Key Barrel Project, and he just sort of you can see his face drop and go. And he had one tonight as well, and he went, "Oh, that's not a £10 beer, you know."
Yeah, I've got 3 barley wines from them. Funny enough, from a series, but they always use Tonka all the time. Every single beer is Tonka, or it's like
do
something else. Do something different. Do some coconut. Drop. You know, you can't. Must have shares in a Tonka factory or something.
Or anything else that barrel ages. Like I had one. I think it was cherry, but it did have Tonka in it. Disco Demolition Done. Adam, no one wants a beer called Disco's Gulag Drip. I want a beer called Disco's Gulag Drip, and that will be a barrel aged phenomenon.
Yeah, I've got that. I can't remember what ones it is. I've got a set 3 from a series they done a while back. I've had Disco Demolition Derby. I've reviewed that. I thought it was nice.
What did you think? What did you reckon? Was it?
I thought it was decent. Yeah, I thought it was good.
Yeah, I thought it was. I thought it didn't make my Disco's Beer of the Year list because it was just. I use the word just, and I hate using the word just, but it's a sort of it was a perfectly reasonable barrel aged chocolate stout, and the Tonka in it. I'm not sure about. The cherry wasn't quite all that, but
the trouble is a lot of their beers, by the sounds of it, are very kind of Tonka heavy, so it just masks everything else.
Yeah. There was a good booziness to it, like that spirit barrel aged edge to it. It was all right.
Yeah. They were at London Craft Beer Festival. I think we done 3 beers they had in a session. Well, so.
Yeah, Adam says Verdant versus Polly. I mean, 2 top-notch breweries. Would do big on IPAs, but alcohol heavy IPA, not in a good way. Lovely.
I'm on that, Adam. Moonpool. Villages.
Yeah. I still haven't had a day. I shouldn't admit, but I've still not had a day yet. I was hoping to go to Dare on Boxing Day because my team were playing in Cheltenham on Boxing Day, so it would have been great. But with travel restrictions and numbers and stuff, I never made it. So I hope to get back to Dare next season. I've stayed away from their cans so far. I shouldn't have, I know, but I will get round to Dare at some point. A right nice point. Hello.
How you doing?
Happy New Year. Trying to drink beer advent calendar stuff here. Currently got an 8.5% Belgian style by Borgo.
Borgo. Oh, is that Italian?
I don't know. That's a new one on me. I failed on my advent calendar beers. I got as far as 16. I did 17 and 18 and then kind of struggled with words, got a bit lost a bit of creative ability and kind of gave up. So I didn't have an advent calendar. I had a door and 24 beers to do. So
Borgo.
So I'm well behind.
Yeah, Italy.
Oh, okay.
Barra del Borgo. Might be one of them lagers, maybe. One of them strong lagers, I think. I don't know.
They said, yeah, they're Italian.
Yeah. Nice.
Superb. Well, welcome along. All right, nice paint.
Yeah. It's cool. I didn't think anyone would be up this time of day, to be fair. But I think people are just like, yeah, it's Friday, Saturday night, and
Yeah, whatever day it is this week. Yeah.
the last proper night, isn't it? Really. And then I think a lot of people are back to work Monday. Is Monday a bank holiday?
Monday's apparently. I didn't know. Monday's a bank holiday because Saturday was. Because today's New Year's Day, it should be a bank holiday because it's Saturday. It's not. So Monday's a bank holiday, so people are back to work on Tuesday.
Yeah, I was wondering. Okay, right. That makes sense then. So I just checked trains. They are running on Monday at the moment, so get in.
And you can get back.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, there's no bloody engineering works, which is nice. Just hope they got some staff on Monday, that's all.
Yeah, it's all very complicated with everything at the moment, in between staffing and engineering works and festive reductions and stuff. I don't know.
Yeah. Cool. It's quite gassy, that, actually. It's quite nice. Cool. It's called Trap Yeast. Okay.
Trappist yeast. You work as a breakfast show presenter, so I hope it's Tuesday. I'm back. You'd not want to turn up and let your show down. That's great. What show do you present for breakfast? I'd love to know. That'd be brilliant.
Oh, okay. Oh wow, that's cool.
If I was a presenter, I would struggle with breakfast shows because you have to be up at like 4 or 5 in the morning or whatever, and I struggle to get up for breakfast myself. I'm very terrible at getting up in the morning. I don't know about you.
I'm no good on camera either, so.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. You're a bit of a veteran, to be fair, Craig. You've done a few live shows. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I've got some.
You're smashing it out of the park.
Yeah.
But it's more of an evening thing with yourself, isn't it? It's like well, I suppose beer is, isn't it? Beer is an evening show, really.
Well, yeah, but yeah, I don't think that'd be good for daytime telly. It'll be good for radio.
Oh, here we go. Basin Island, Shannonside, a Midlands station. Is it TV or radio? Cool.
Nice.
Beer reviews was a lockdown project.
Right.
So many people were,
It was. I mean, I mean, before lockdowns and the world we live in now. I'm not going to say the word, but you know what I mean. And then that hit, and then bang, there was just loads of people doing it all of a sudden.
Yeah.
I mean, in fairness, it's a very good time of times to do it because everyone's at home and you're going to get an instant hit straight away.
Yeah, we
So
didn't.
You get a massive bounce.
People are going to see it. I mean, like obviously you've been doing video beer reviews for quite some time now, Craig. Way pre-lockdown. We were sort of doing it pre-lockdown, but because me and Rasco live opposite sides of London, we just meet up at a pub or a beer festival and do a slightly drunken review afterwards. But it's way pre-lockdown. But we sort of didn't really make the most of it during lockdown. We didn't do enough lives, or I'm terrible at beer reviews, like piece to camera beer reviews, like the ones you do. It's brilliant because you just sit there and effectively talk to yourself at a camera, and I find that really difficult. I
can talk to myself without a camera though. It's not not a problem. When no one else is around.
I couldn't do TV, face for radio. Yeah, I think that as well. Unfortunately, I don't have the voice for radio or TV, but here I am on YouTube talking about beer.
That's why I don't watch nothing back. If I watch stuff back, I'm not doing it no more. I'm not doing it.
Yeah, because there's always that one thing that.
People's comments. Got that bit wrong. Okay, whatever.
That's what worries me, and I sit there and go, I shouldn't have said that.
And there's some of these live streams, Jesus. No.
That's why I have trouble, Craig, with piece to camera beer reviews like you do. I sit there and I'm talking to the camera, and I say something, and I go, oh shit, and then I stop. I'm just like cut, and I've already poured the beer, so I can't pour it again. So that's the entire review ruined. And I like doing one takes. I can't do it unless it's one take as well. I just wanted to do it, smash it out.
sometimes I
stop-
do a jump cut if I get interrupted, which happens now
Yeah.
and again, and then I'll just like just trim that there, start again. But then I need to watch back the last bit of that first video just to work out where I was, and then try and
Yeah,
carry on from that.
that's the thing. You have to and try and match it up. I don't really like jump cuts that much. I do one now and again, but in a
But
few
then
videos I
sometimes
do.
I
But
have no idea what I'm talking about. Let's go again, and then it is what
Yeah.
it is. I'm not bothered. So
that's why I used to order everything in pairs. So if I messed the first one up, I could always do it again. But then that got a bit expensive and stuff. So
too expensive, yeah, God.
yeah.
But
Um,
if I don't, I try and nail the beer, who it's from, the name, the ABV,
mm,
and then once I've got to that point, and then I crack the beer. Once I've cracked the beer, that's it. If there's any more
Yeah.
fuck ups or anything, then it is what it is.
yeah, as long as you do that straight off. That's a good shout. Like COVID, thanks for opening my mind to craft beer. Yeah, same with a lot of people and a lot of people doing beer reviews, I guess. And bought a blade during the first lockdown. Have you got any beer machines, Craig? Did you buy like a blade or any of those?
They're not for me.
No.
I mean, they're going to get you a shit ton of views if you do a review of them. That's like market beers, really.
Yeah.
If you now hit the ground running with all that, you're going to be like crazy. But I don't like. I drink beers that I would drink if I wasn't reviewing. I don't buy beers for the channel and views, blah blah. I mean, I could do it if I wanted, but I don't. I you know.
Yeah.
Question is, would you be drinking this if you didn't have a YouTube channel? That's what I would ask.
That's always my problem. I've got a massive stack of beers in there that I haven't done because I bought them to review and have not got round to it. So I think in the early days I bought like a mini keg, but that's 8 pints, and I'm like, yeah, I can drink 8 pints in an evening, but during lockdown I'm sitting here on my own, so I'm not drinking 8 pints on my own. I'll have a couple and that's it, I'm done. And the thing about the blades and all the Phillips and all those other things, I'm not drinking enough beer on my own, even stuff I just want to drink, to warrant it. And I'm buying beers to review, so I only buy 2 of everything, and that's about it.
I brought a couple of kegs I'm trying to think where we are now. Last year, it's only yesterday. I can't remember. I think it was the beginning part of 2021. It's from a local brewery though, but I struggled. I thought, nah, I'm not getting no more. It was like I got 2 5-litre mini kegs I drank in a weekend. I'm like, I'm drinking too much, and it was too much of one beer. But then once you cracked it up, you've got to drink it in a day or two.
Especially if the gamble is like if you get one and it's just sort of average, and especially on some of them there wasn't enough beers that I'd want to drink on there.
Yeah, you got another 7 pints to drink, and it's shit. It's like, nah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Even if it was good, it'd be like, oh Jesus, it's just a lot of the same beer drink.
I said Trap East Bavago is quite good. Easy to drink at 8.5%. That's the other thing. Like 8 pints, 8.5%. If it's easy to drink, fine. And you've got to drink it in 3 days as well, so you can't mix. It's difficult to mix in with other beers and stuff like that. But again, it's down to the individual and what your drinking pattern is and what you want. And if you do, fair play.
I can't read your message, Adam, because I'm on my phone. Just letting you know.
Oh, right, it's a separate one, yeah.
So, no,
11.5%. Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
I don't know what you said.
Just Flanders. So you're getting a lot of good European beers there in Ireland. All right, nice, mate.
Oh yeah, that's that big brown bottle. I think they're about €20 a pop, €25 a pop. Nice. I never had it, but that's in supermarket. It's in Portugal, believe it or not. Can you believe that?
Yeah.
Crazy.
I had 2 Belgian style beers in my beer of the year list. accidentally, there was a
Accidentally.
well, not accidentally. Like I didn't specifically choose them. It's just like the beers that struck me, like the Heretic from Brass Castle was a Belgian blonde with saffron and cracked black pepper. Insane additives, but I drank a lot of that this year. Went back for them quite a lot, and
yeah, there was one brewery that really shocked me how good their beer or this beer was. It was from Castle Rock. Their Citra. Was it Citra or something? Session Citra. It was really good.
Well, Castle Rock, I've been aware of Castle Rock since way before lockdown. They some good traditional beers, but they've gone on to some craft beers as well and some good beers. But
I had I can't remember what it was called, Citra something or other, and it blew me away. I was like, wow, this is good.
Yeah. Oh, there we go. Right, nice point. That's the other one I was trying to think of, the Perfect Draft.
Right.
Different ones, and that's the thing. I hate throwing out beer, so I couldn't get enough on those machines that would warrant. I wouldn't be out throwing them out.
I mean, they're great if you've got a few people around, but obviously at that point,
that's the thing.
You can have people, but I guess for now they're pretty good, especially in the summer barbecue. Get a few torps. What one's
that's
that
the other
for?
one. Yeah, is that the Heineken one, or is that the Perfect Draft?
I don't. Yeah, I don't. You get these torp things. You used to get them on. I can't even remember the name of the company now. In Europe, remember like a sieve.
But there's one of them you can, or have I seen my mate do it? He got the adapter where you can get like a mini keg, so you can get whatever mini keg you want, and get it through the draft. I can't remember what that one was. That's the one that probably would have interested me the most, but again, sort of cost.
What's that one you can brew your own beer with as well? There's a newer one.
That's the
what's that?
The Pinter.
That's it. Yeah.
But it's very, very basic. It's just chuck the water in with the mix, and I'd rather just pay the extra couple of quid and get an actual beer rather than go for it, because I'm terrible. I've done home brewing twice, and the one we did, me and Rasco did one. We brewed an American Pale Ale. Cheap plug. It's up on our channel, but we brewed American Pale Ale. It was actually very nice citrus orangey notes to it, and but it took all day. All day, and you had to follow it exactly and do the temperature and the blah blah blah. It was like the one up from the basic, Yeah.
That's
I just haven't got the time. Yeah.
Generally the rule, though, isn't it? So,
yeah, I'd rather buy some beer.
During lockdowns, though, I was too busy. I was too busy supporting local bottle shops and breweries.
Exactly.
To be bothered about.
I mean, the one we did was I was given a kit by a mate of mine. He has a website, and he got it for free. So it's about 120 quid's worth of kit, and it was a local company up in like Oxfordshire called they've since gone under now, but it was Home Boutique. But it was like a whole day's brew. It was like an 8-hour brew.
I do remember that. I never bought nothing.
It was brilliant. After that one, I spent 20 quid on a chocolate orange stout and never got round to doing it, because you have to clear the whole day. You have to get all the and it was one like had cacao nibs. You had to soak in vodka, and like on 24 hours before, and I just, because it was in lockdown, I'm like, I'm not going to get round to doing it. I haven't got like the mental strength, the willpower to like actually do it, And it's a shame because like obviously all the hops have gone off now, and I just won't do it.
That's the thing I was trying to think of for the we get the torps for the. I don't know what machine that is. I know that's what you get the torps and you put it in and or whatever. I don't know.
That's it. Yeah. It's that sort of thing that one of these days I will get round to it. Post lockdown, maybe.
Yeah. I mean, get out in the summer if you can. That'd be good.
Yeah.
I think about May onwards. I think it'd be better.
Yeah,
I mean, at the moment,
absolutely.
even I'm not going to go out at the moment. It's especially in London. It's just too silly. When I took
Well,
I
yeah,
took I got a train earlier and a bus, and there was no one on either. It was perfect.
okay, yeah, yeah.
So
That's the thing at the moment. It's yeah. I'm not going to even get into that because I'll bore you for hours on that.
no, fair dues. But yeah, summer months will be alright.
Ah, Bramwell's in the house. Good to see you, Bramwell. Cheers. Who does do a lot of home
Cheers.
brewing, by the way? Bramwell Backroom Brewery.
Cool.
Relaxing and rewarding. Yeah, no, it's definitely rewarding. I don't find it relaxing because there's a lot of stress worrying about hitting the times and the percentages and stuff like that. But if you've got that mindset to do that, then absolutely fair play. And yeah,
There's
good
one of
evening.
these. Yeah, there's one of these things now. You get an app for your phone, and you get like a little, like a thermometer thing, and you can Bluetooth it to your app on your phone. It gives you all the
I
temperatures and
bet.
read. It's like
Yeah,
crazy, you know.
yeah, to make it easy. And all, I mean, it depends how much you want to spend and how far you go. Like some of the Grainfather kits and stuff do all that
Yeah,
digital stuff for you and all that.
that's a bit more
But it's
serious.
it's got a bit of spends to do it.
Yeah,
So yeah.
sub. That's
The
it.
best beer you've both had. Well, we find that very difficult to answer. I think, Craig. I don't know. Can you answer what's the best beer? There's no such thing as the best beer, is there? The best beer is the one you've got in your hand at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, there's some great beers. There's a lot of high standard great beers out there and breweries out there. It's just
Yeah.
it's a regular question. I get why, but
Well, like I say, I've just come off the back of the beer of the year show with me and Rasco over on Instagram, and me and Rasco can't even agree on the best beer. We can't agree on our beer of the year because he has some amount of beers. I have a different amount of beers. I've chosen one. He's chosen one, and it's sort of. I mean, that content will come up either tomorrow or Monday on the YouTube channel. But yeah, we just choose by what we enjoy in the moment. That's always I do. What I enjoy, and I've narrowed it down to 4. We had a finalist of 4 each today, and it's just It's just about the beer, the beers that I always go by the wow moment when you first try a beer. Then you go, oh, that's nice. Oh my god.
I've
Oh
had
wow. You know. And
I've had quite a few of those. Most of them were at beer festivals. In fact, most of them were at, when I was with Adam. Actually, there was a few up in Manchester and the one in London, the craft beer festivals. There's some banging beers in there. There's some really good beers. Really, one or two really. Oh wow, that is surprisingly good.
some of them are like one-offs, and you're never going to have them again. But they are the best. But they're the best in that moment.
Yeah, I mean, there was a couple of Fremont beers we had last year, and they were just phenomenal. Like Imperial Stouts, bourbon barrel aged, and they were just like, wow.
I put a comment up earlier at this point. His favourite for now is La Trappe Quad.
Oh,
right. I was going to throw it back to you, but you've already answered it. So yeah.
Good beer. I mean, quads. Yeah.
Here's a different style of question for you from Bramwell. Then, what style do you both feel has made the most impact in 2021? Because that's a broader subject matter, isn't it?
Probably, I feel like I'm saying it year on year, but for me, definitely pilsners and lagers and stuff.
Do you know what? I was about to say much the same thing because for me, it's dark lager.
Yeah, beers.
But lager in general,
yeah,
certainly more craft orientated.
Standards got amazing.
Absolutely, yeah, it's come a long way.
There's a fair few breweries doing them now, and like things like Braybrook, and they're fantastic. If you know,
and we're not even talking about your mainstream stuff. Even like, I don't know, you're like Blue Moon. I like Blue Moon, but you know, and your mid mainstream sort of crafty like Hogarten, perfectly decent. You know, for us back in the day. But it's gone so much further than that because everybody's trying to emulate the original kind of decent beers like that. And there's some really good stuff about at the moment for lagers.
Oh, I mean, yeah, you got Utopia.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's just some good breweries out there.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, I was in the Society Bar in Manchester, says when I was pint. Loved the Vocation beers, Life and Death. Yeah, on draft, loved it.
Yeah.
Agree with you said, Dark Lager. Yeah, Dark Lager. Well, watch out for the content coming out in. Both me and Rasco actually agreed. We rarely agree. One of the reasons I said that, me and Rasco actually agreed on Dark Lager being something on the show earlier. So Dark Lager featured in my Beer of the Year awards this year.
Yeah, and there's a brewery close to me that does a good Schwarz beer. It's called Agent Schwarz, obviously Dark Lager.
There's Time and Tide, isn't it? I meant to order that one. I should have ordered that one, and I didn't. I didn't get to it, but I will come back to that.
That's worth picking.
Yeah,
they've just done a big rebrand as well, so I've got to get all the new rebrand core range stuff now as well. So
yeah, I'm not sure I like the new artwork. I'm not sure I like the new artwork. I think the old stuff was better. It's a bit more cartoony, a bit more fun.
Yeah, I think I'm agreeing with you, but hey, it's not what's on the outside of the can.
It's what's inside that counts. Yeah, exactly. Could Dark Lager be the main style for 2022? I don't know. It's fairly niche. I'd love it to be. I wouldn't mind.
I wouldn't say main.
I'll tell you a little story about that. I briefly referenced this the other day. I was watching Craft Beer Channel. I was watching Johnny, and he's got a new brew shed up in. He's moved up to Cambridgeshire, and he's brewing a Pilsner. And I popped a little comment in, and I said, "Is that the new Czech, please?" And about 8 years ago, I'll tell this story. About 8 years ago, it turned out that me and him and Brad were in a competition organised by Pilsner Urquell and Windsor and Eton, and we did a little brew day up at a pub in Parsons Green. My mate got me on it. He had like a lifestyle website, and the marketing people invited him, and he said, "Can I bring my mate Disco?" And it's like, yeah. So I was on a team with me and my mate, a couple of the guys from Imbibe, and Susanna from Little Pomona, right? And I rocked up. I knew nothing about lagers at the time, and they give us all these hops and stuff, right? And they gave us some dark malts. They had some Carafa malt and some dark malts. I said, I'd just been to St Albans Beer Festival where I'd had Budvar Dark for the first time. So I'm like, let's do a dark Pilsner. Everybody else will be doing a proper Pilsner, right, with a load of stuff on the table, like, SARS hops and all that. Let's do a dark one. That'll win. I didn't know on the other day, there was 3 of us on that day, and the other day there was the other 3, including Johnny and Brad. And they did a beer, and they called it Czech Please, which I thought was a very funny name. I thought mine was funnier because I called it Another Fine Mash. Right? And we came third, we believe. We weren't allowed to win because it was a dark lager. The judges said, you can't have a dark Pilsner. I can't remember who won. I think it was something called Velvet or something won. It was a very good Pilsner, to be fair. But I've since watched the video that Johnny and Brad done, and I'm kind of in the background. But yeah, he was brewing a Pilsner, so I popped in. Is that another Czech, please? He said, no, that was terrible. And so dark Pilsners, dark lagers, why not? Why can't that be a style, go-to style for next year? Why not?
It's never going to be a main style, though. It's just not.
No, but I'm all up for that because I like a dark beer.
Yeah, but it's not going to compete with what everyone's drinking, the hazy stuff. It's just.
It's not trendy, is it? It's not trendy. If you can have a Pilsner, it's got to be. That's why we didn't win. It's got to be like a pale kind of, slightly hoppy, very tasty, nicely balanced beer, isn't it?
But not every brewery is going to suddenly start doing dark lagers. They're just not.
No, I don't think so. I mean, lager's very difficult because it takes a while. You've got to brew it, you've got to lager it, you've got to rest it for a couple of months. They haven't got the room or the capacity or whatever.
And with the way things are, they probably can't afford to. With obviously the brewing process is longer. There's more money they're sitting on. They need to make money. So
yeah.
Which is why one of the reasons why you've had a lot of these pale beers have got Kvik yeastings. It shortens that brewing process time.
But if you have a dark lager and everybody loves it because it's smooth and tasty and dark, and the throughput is quick, why not brew something that everybody's going to drink? But will everybody drink it? I've no idea. Like you say, I'm not in business. I just know what I want to drink, but I'm not a businessman or a brewery. Like,
I'm not business.
Nah.
Definitely not business. But time scale, I kind of get that really with a business.
Yeah.
With the way things have been.
Yeah.
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 Who knows?
Well, I mean, we know. We know a few brewers and a few business brewery owners who would explain that in. Yeah, I'm thinking John at Lords. He's done a Pilsner. He said it does take a long time in tank, and whilst it's in the tank, you can't do anything else. You've got to sit it in the tank. Yeah. So from a business perspective,
you need to, Quebec yeast, whatever's just give it that quicker turnaround.
Well, Quebec, I'm well into Quebec yeast beers. I do like
I'm still undecided.
Really, I think it gives that smoothness. It's got the quickness for brewers that they like. I think it's got the smoothness of taste, especially if you bang some oats in as well. And I even IPAs, Quebec IPAs, I will buy over standard IPAs. I'm not an IPA man, to be fair.
No, that's fair. But that's probably why you've not had a day beer yet, then.
Very much so, because it's all IPAs and double IPA. I will do. I've only ever had one Verdant beer for much the same reason, and that was light bulb. That was pale ale. So,
well, try and get a stout from these breweries instead.
No, they do some. So I will. That's. But it's like if I'm going to order from Verdant, or mind you, my local bottle shop, I could go and pick up some Verdant fairly easily, and that's where I got the light bulb from. But there's so much stuff about. I might as well just spend me £6 on something I know I'm going to enjoy.
That's it.
That's a good question from Bramall. What style would you say would find suitable for all occasions? Mine is an ESB, an easygoing, non-offensive. I wouldn't say an ESB is for all occasions because it's quite strong, quite dark. Doesn't work for everybody.
Yeah. I just like a nice pale ale, like a decent pale ale. I could drink them steadily most of the day.
Yeah, I mean, I do tend.
I like to chop and change though. So
yeah, I do tend to like some of the mainstream stuff. Like if I'm not doing a review or doing a live or whatever, when I'm doing like during the week, I'll do a couple of Zooms for like quizzes or darts or whatever. So I will just drink a tribute. It's an Austell tribute or something like that, or even a Hefeweizen from the supermarket. I don't mind that because it's something I can just drink that's light. I don't have to think about or review or anything like that.
Yeah, I mean, I like Fuller's. You say ESB, or Fuller's ESB, London Porter. Them two are just fantastic.
Out of Fuller's, although I've never had it in bottle, I've never had ESB in bottle. If I'm up the pub, I would prefer HSB. Which isn't a Fuller's product, it's Fuller's owned, but it's fruitier.
I've had it in bottle before. It was a bit, but then
on cask, I prefer it to ESB. I think it's lighter.
Right.
Yeah. So that's my go-to if I'm up the pub. But again, if I'm up the pub, I haven't been for 18 months, but if I am, it is whatever's on at the time.
Wow.
I know, it's fucking scary. I never thought that would be me. I'm not going to go into why, but yeah, over 18 months. I've just not gone.
It's probably 21 months, isn't it? Surely.
The last pint I had, regrettably, well, not regrettably, I was glad of it at the time, but it was 10 o'clock on St. Patrick's Day, and it was a pint of Guinness in a Wetherspoons, a fucking empty Wetherspoons. It would have been rammed. It's 2020. That's how mad 2020 was. My last pint in a pub off draft was a pint of Guinness in a Wetherspoons on Patrick's Day.
What shit beer to be your beer for 18 months?
Actually, well, to be fair, my Wetherspoons is pretty good. They keep their beers pretty good. Even the Guinness was decent. I was all right with it. I didn't have a second pint because I just didn't want to stay, and it was empty. I just haven't bothered since. I won't go into why. It's quite dull, but
No,
yeah,
it is. Well, hopefully
yeah.
you can
It's
get out here at some point. It'd be
I hope
quite
so
good.
soon.
Going
Well,
back into
I'm
it.
actually aiming. I'm actually aiming for St. Patrick's Day this year, if
Oh
not
wow!
before.
Okay, sooner then. Oh, okay.
If not before, I would love before, but yeah, I'm hoping St. Patrick's. I thought about that last year as well, but didn't happen.
Well, yeah, you'll have to let me know when you're out and about.
Absolutely,
catch up.
yeah, definitely will. We got to get out for a beer at some point.
So I say I'm up here every 3 weeks. So
yeah, I
most,
can get across to where you are fairly easily. I'm just not going on trains at the moment.
Most half terms, I'm up here as well. So
yeah.
yeah.
Every country is different. Ain't that the case? Ireland's taking too long to catch up with the UK. I suppose, it's not. I don't think it's taking too long. I think it's like other geopolitical issues that have scuppered it a little bit. But again, let's not go into that. This is supposed to be an after party.
Well, yeah, but yeah, Ireland do some good beers though. They've got some great breweries out there.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, like White Hag. I was the day after St. Patrick's Day in 2020. I was meant to go down my local bottle shop, and bar, and White Hag had a tap takeover the day after St. Patrick's Day. Obviously, I think they cancelled it in the end because they couldn't get over, because that was just a roundabout lockdown, just pre-lockdown. So I've had a couple of White Hag beers. Whiplash, great from Ireland. A few of those. Yeah,
Whiplash are fantastic. I think.
yeah.
I'm trying to think. There's another brewery, but I can't think. One of my friends, Al, over in Ireland, he gave me a few beers once. I was like, oh wow, that's amazing. Can't remember the name of the brews. Is it Gargoyles? They're all right. I can't remember.
Oh, okay. I know that one.
I can't remember if that's how you pronounce it. Gargoyles or whatever. Goggles.
Well, Thomas at Window Beer Reviews would be the one to tell us about Ireland. He's got some good beer reviews, hasn't
he? He's normally on these things, which is obviously. I know he just got hammered last night.
Yeah, I'm a little bit surprised. Maybe he's got to go up early in the morning. Sometimes he does have to.
Yeah, maybe.
Breakthrough beer in Ireland in 2021 is 9 White Deer Stag Stout on draft. I've not heard of that one. I'd love to. Maybe Thomas will tell us about that.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting.
Best pint of Guinness, Matt Malloy's Westport. Never been to Westport. Only been to Ireland once.
I've never been to Ireland. I will do one.
Have you not? It's I've only been there the once, sadly, with an ex of mine. We went all around the place, up north, went over west as well. It was a good week, to be fair. That was pre beer reviews as well. That was about 10 years ago. So a place I intend to get back to at some point as well.
Yeah.
Why River?
Oh, that's it.
Why River? Heard one of their brands is McGarg. Oh, that's it. I was just saying McGargles. Yeah.
One of their brands. Right. Yeah. Rye River. I've had one or two of their beers. I didn't know it was one of the brands though. Okay. There you go. Interesting. Yeah, I've had a few Irish beers, and they've always been pretty decent. So.
Yeah, well, they got water for it, haven't they?
Ireland seem to get a hell of a lot of American stuff that we don't get.
So okay.
Because obviously it's part of the EU, might be part of the EU thing. I'm not going into that either, but you know, what I'm
geopolitical,
saying. They get a hell of a lot of stuff. It's like wow. Yeah.
Superb. I haven't got too much into Irish beers. I should have, but I mean, like I got the White Hag stuff from House of Trembling Madness up in York. They get some good imports in and stuff like that. So one of the Whiplash beers was in my disco beer of the year, wasn't it? It was
Whiplash are great.
Yeah, Disco Mystic. Again, a double IPA getting in my beer of the year. What's that about?
I like the artwork on their cans as well. It's,
Yeah, difficult to
is it
photograph though because they're on the back.
Is it Sophie? I can't remember her name. I follow her on Instagram. She's a fantastic
Oh, okay.
artist. I can't.
Yeah, there's
So,
some good stuff. So
Deleuze.
that's the front of the can.
Sophie
That's the
Deleuze
back
or
of the
something.
can. Yeah, I
Sophie
can't. I might
Deleuze
still.
something.
I can't read it, but you're right.
Really
Yeah,
artist.
yeah, some fairly mad artwork. I have no idea what that's
Oh.
about, but it looks good.
It's different, isn't it? It's a bit out there, but it's, at least it's art. It is artwork, you know.
How much do you buy cans by artwork, Craig? Do you go for that, or is it about the beer or what?
No, I don't go for artwork. A lot of people do.
I
You can have amazing
I
art.
have to say,
You can have amazing artwork and crap beer. So
for sure. Yeah.
Rye River Supplier place. Okay. Right.
Just some DJs.
You had one beer from Rye River. I thought it was really good. A few years back.
See, Rye River sounds American to me.
Yeah, they started a series. I can't remember what the hell it was called. I think I had one of the first ones, and obviously then I couldn't get any more. But I think they've become others have been available. I think some of the online stores have had them. But yeah. That was a few years ago, probably about 3 or 4 years ago. 3 years ago. Yeah, my mate Alan come across from Ireland. He gave me about 6 beers from Ireland. Like, oh, cool, take them home and do a review. I'm like, okay. I owe him a few beers actually because he was going to come to Hop City and he ended up he couldn't come across because of what was happening, and so he gave me his ticket to Hop City. So I ended up he's given me that. I was going to give him some money. I don't want money. I was like, okay, well I'm going to get you a ticket next year if you're going. I don't like that. It's just like he's like, no, it's fine. So I don't like kindness. You know, it's like I want to be the one doing it.
Yeah, I know it's very difficult, isn't it? You have to sort of it's difficult to accept. But I prefer description on cans over artwork. Yeah, no, fair point. Yeah, I do love a bit of artwork as well. But yeah, you want to know the information. It depends, isn't it? Sometimes you get beers. I mean, like my local brewery does great beers, but doesn't have any artwork because they just do colours, information, brewery name, beer name, beer type and stuff like that. So it's all a gamble, isn't it?
I mean, Colonel was the perfect example of that. I mean, artwork. It's just a brown label with the beer. If you're looking for artwork, that's not the brewery, but
for me, in the early days when I first saw Colonel, I'm like, that looks a bit dull. So I assume the beer is dull, and I know it's not. It's great beer, but I just sort of always swerved from Colonel a little bit in that reason.
You never had any of their stouts?
Oh yeah, no, yeah. Back in the early days, like pre-beer reviewing, I'd pick them up for train beers. They win Marks and Spencers fairly early, so I picked up their. Yeah. I remember having a Colonel beer, and I only picked it up because it was the only thing I was on Cambridge Station, and there's an M&S on, or used to be an M&S on Cambridge Station coming back from football, and so I had like an Imperial Stout, I think from Colonel, and maybe one other, and they were in M&S. So I haven't gone back to them on a regular enough basis, and certainly not recently. I've not had a Colonel in I've not even been to their tap room in Bermondsey in the Beer Mile because we never made it that far south.
They do some good mixed firm beers as well.
Yeah, and I think again in the early days I was less into mixed firm stuff. I'm probably more into it now. It sits on my palate better now.
I mean, maybe you say you don't like the IPAs quite as much, but yeah, the stouts are just. Oh.
Yeah. But then, I imagine they don't really do adjuncty stuff, and I'm more into adjuncty stuff.
They're straight up, but well brewed.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, it's really
I've kind
good.
of left it to Rasco. Rasco's done a lot of Colonel stuff. And fair
Right.
play. I think it's something I would like if I tried it more. It's just
Oh,
a case of there's so much and it's, so pricey and
there is a lot, but
yeah.
I mean, they were one of the first breweries I kind of was 3 breweries. There was the Colonel, Weird Beard, and
Yeah.
Beaver.
Okay.
They were the first. They were the first 3 craft breweries I had beers from, and that was back in 2012.
Yeah, Weird Beard I think started in 2012, maybe 2013. They
It's
started
pretty
in
much they just
2012.
yeah. I think
2013, I've
I think
chatted to the owner of Weird Beard, and he was going to move in literally 800 yards down the road in a railway arch down the road from me. And if
yeah.
he'd moved in down there, I'd probably be working for them by now, if not definitely drinking them every week.
Well, I was drinking with the owner. I don't know if it's still the same guy or not. I know
Brian.
one of them left. Can't remember.
Okay.
This was one of the earlier hop cities.
Right.
It might have been in Leeds International, and I went back to Northern Monks tap room at the refectory, and the guys were there from Weird Beard, and we ended up shared a few beers. We done a few rounds, and really nice guy. Proper. I've not seen him. I haven't seen him since. I know that someone left and then come back, and there was stuff happened. I don't know all the ins and outs, whatever. But yeah, that's a brewery I say I've not had from for a long time. So perhaps I need to. I don't see them so much either. That's the thing. You don't down our way. They used to be down our way all the time, but now it's unless you order something online, you don't really see them anymore. It was all bottles back then. I think it's predominantly cans again now.
Yeah, very much so. Apart from some of the barrel aged stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, they're only the other side of the M40 from me, so they're fairly close. But they're just far enough away not to have free delivery. So I've only had like a couple of deliveries from them.
It's a weird part of London, in West London. Is it Hanwell, isn't it?
Yeah, so it's basically Ealing, but it's slightly out of Ealing because they say Ealing because it's easier to remember. Most people, more people know Ealing than Hanwell. But they're tucked down the back of an industrial estate, so they're miles out of the way of anywhere. But they do open days. They do open days, and they're quite well. When you go, or the ones I've been to, have been quite popular. So, and they have a barrel aging program as well. They've got a couple of units there. So
I need to revisit them because they were one of my first kind of got me into it. Breweries.
I tell you what they've got at the moment. They've got some really good deals on like end of line stuff that are almost sell by date. I mean, we know that doesn't necessarily make a lot of difference. So it's kind of worth getting a crate of Hellers if you want something to drink on a regular, and it's only, I say only, it's like £6 on a courier, which is probably about reasonable for courier rates.
It's about right.
£5, £6, £7 tops. I mean, and that's subsidised because they pay £9.
I know Colonel were a bit pricey with their delivery,
right?
But their beers are cheap. So
yeah,
so it's kind of weighing up the total. What's the grand total, and then working it out.
That's a great question. He's going to fall asleep on the sofa. What's the worst place you've fallen asleep in?
Wow. Yeah, there's been a few girls like
that. I mean, I was going to say Greenwich, but
you just don't wake up. That's the thing with that. But anyway, that was a long time ago.
In the bedroom and half on the landing, my wife couldn't close the door. Brilliant, Bram.
Yeah.
Probably the bath for me, like when I was about 16 and my parents found me like all over the place, probably.
I fell asleep on the beach once. Yeah.
Sunburn.
Well, not at night, but yeah. But yeah, fortunately, I was above the high tide line mark.
Very
So,
fortunately.
yeah. Cheers. Nice one.
Superb, Ron. Thanks for popping in. Great stories as well. And White Nice Pint, thanks for coming and saying hello. Cheers. Craig, I'm gonna have to toddle off now. I think I've got to the end of my pint. It's been a great after party. Thank you for popping in, sir.
Got a bit left here.
Superb. It's brilliant. And do you know what it says? Like, we've been talking about coming over to YouTube properly a bit more. So it says that even a late night one, if people can join and have a chat, and that's kind of what it's about, isn't it? Really, just popping in, saying hello, having a chat.
It's up to you guys. It's whatever you guys decide, and talk
Yeah.
to the people who regularly come into the show and see what they think. I don't know.
Well, what I was saying to Rasco earlier is we've got to do more beer reviews during the week and like videos and stuff, and then like whether we can fit in on a Saturday night and still do our sort of Saturday night Instagram show on YouTube and see what happens. Really, I suppose, see if it works. But
I need to get back to the Hope again at Carl Shelton.
Yeah, that's a great pub. I've been there a couple of times with Rasco. It's his local, so that's a really good pub to go to in London.
Yeah, when we went there in April, it was just outside dining only, not dining, but outside drinking only, and it was a bit chilly, but it was the first time I've been out for a beer for ages. So that's the first.
Yeah, no, and they do a good beer festival there
3 or 4 times this or last year.
Yeah, we're sitting down the road from them. They do a good couple. They do at least 2 or 3 beer festivals there. Like they do a dark beer festival in the November time, and the one you went to in the summer. You've got to get there on a Thursday and Friday. They always sell out by the Saturday, so it's a damn decent little pub as well.
That's the problem, isn't it? It's if it's not a half term, then I'm probably going to be a bit SOL with that.
We shall see what happens in 2022. Do you know what I mean? We're into it now. We'll see how it goes. We'll hopefully catch up soon. So
absolutely
superb. Okay, Craig. Thank you very much for popping in. Thanks so much for the beer, and we will see you at some point soon.
Yeah, hopefully, it'll be good.
Fantastic. Thanks to everybody else for popping in and dropping comments and all that, liking and subscribing on our little beer channel. And go follow Greg too. So yeah, have fun.
Cheers. Happy New Year.